and welcome to our today's webinar, our Cumberland College Agent E-Summit 2020 Live. I believe our attendees are in process of joining the webinar. In the meanwhile, I welcome you all and thank you for being a part of our journey and the events. And I hope you, your family, colleagues are all safe and well. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, ladies and gentlemen from all parts of the world who's joining us today. I am Shivani Sachdeva, Manager Canada at MSM, and I'm delighted and pleased to introduce our presenters today, Ms. Brenda, Manager Marketing and Continuing Studies, Sarah, Registrar, Brenda, International Advisor. Before I hand over the mic to them, I will quickly run through the requirements on the portal that we're using. As a reminder, you all are muted and are encouraged to put your question through Q&A section, which is appearing in your control panel. And later on, while the presentation is over, we will be answering all your questions. And in case your questions are not answered, do not worry. Our managers will be getting it back to you, right? This webinar will be recorded, so you can download or see our webinar on the later stage from our YouTube channel as well. So before further ado, let's start and welcome the team and start our presentation. Over to you, ladies. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Shivani. As she mentioned, my name is Brenda Mellon, and I am the Manager of Marketing and Continuing Studies at Cumberland College. I'm pleased to have Sarah Haiti, our Registrar, and Brandy Wicks, our International Advisor, here with me today. And we plan to share some information with you regarding Cumberland College's programs and services that are available for international students. And we'll also share some basic information about our local communities and our beautiful province of Saskatchewan with you. So Saskatchewan, it is known as the land of living skies. And it is located, it's a province located in Western Canada. We're a prairie province. And Canada, as you're probably aware, is known for having a fairly strong educational system. In Canada and Saskatchewan in particular, we have 4 very distinct seasons. So that's something that we always stress to students, that there's an opportunity to experience the natural kind of environment here. And we encourage students to check out the many lakes and natural attractions in the summer and in the winter, and to try some of our winter sports that they maybe haven't had an opportunity to try in the past, such as skating or curling or skiing. We have a ski hill that's not too far from where we live. We also are known for having beautiful sunsets. The photo on the slide is actually at the end of our lane where I live. And it's a nightly occurrence. So we have beautiful sunsets, and we're fortunate too to have the northern lights. So it's even a treat for us to see those at times. They're really breathtaking. And lucky for us, Saskatchewan is the sunniest province in Canada. I should mention that we are a fairly small province, fairly large geographical area, but with a smaller population of just over 1.2 million people. So why should students consider studying in Saskatchewan? Well, we do have fairly safe communities. We're known for being friendly and hospitable. I think parents and family members could rest assured that students would be in a safe, comfortable environment. We have a fairly high quality of life and low living costs. We're in a fairly rural area, so compared to other parts of Canada, our rent and living expenses are somewhat cheaper. Our communities are welcoming and becoming culturally diverse. And as I mentioned, we do have the 4 seasons that we've depicted in the slide. So right now we are at the start of our fall season. So the daytime temperatures still are in the 20s, but the evenings and the mornings are noticeably cooler. And so the trees are going to start changing leaves, and that's really a beautiful time of year as well. And then we'll enter our winter season with snow, and the temperature drops down. Average temperatures are -13, although it does get much colder than that. It can drop to the -30 level. And then in the springtime, it starts to warm up, and we get to kind of experience the growth again, and the trees, leaves budding, and all the flowers blooming. That's a lovely time of year. And we're just finishing our summer season, where we tend to have some very hot and typically drier days. This summer was particularly nice and worked for us with COVID. Many of us are working from home and spending more time at home, and the summer was just beautiful the last month or two. So now why should students consider Cumberland College? We are a smaller college, and so that does allow for more student and teacher interaction. Our instructors get to know the students very well, and they've established a rapport where students feel comfortable asking questions if they need it and getting extra assistance. We are known for being friendly and having a relaxed, comfortable environment. And I've mentioned about the safe community. We have state-of-the-art facilities where we have all of the necessary technical equipment required for all of our programs, so students can have hands-on experience in their field. I mentioned low cost of living, and it's really another way for international students to experience Canadian culture, but we welcome having international students because it's an opportunity for our domestic students to learn about another culture as well, or other cultures. Just as an example, we offer a continuing care assistant program, and the instructor always includes a section on culture. And our students have really enjoyed sharing about their culture and customs with one another. And as a staff, we've enjoyed coming to many luncheons and getting to sample some different dishes and listening to the students present as well. Should mention that most of our programs at Cumberland College have about 15 students in each program. All of the programs that we offer lead to high demand occupations. So we have a program planning council that meets a number of times throughout the year. We look at the provincial labor market needs. So every program that we offer at Cumberland College is deemed to prepare people for jobs and for jobs that are in demand right now. Our student satisfaction rate is very high. 99% of our students are satisfied, very satisfied with their programming and experience at Cumberland College. So we're very proud of that. And another benefit for our international students is that they are eligible to apply for scholarships and awards that we offer at Cumberland College. So we typically offer over $100,000 in scholarships for our students. And in the past, a number of our international students have received awards, and that helps with their living expenses and covers some of their tuition. Next, I'm just going to briefly tell you a little bit about our 3 communities where we have our campus locations. So there's Melfort, Nipawin, and Tisdale. they're all very similar in that they all are kind of full service communities. We have access to high quality healthcare in all three of our communities. They all have excellent recreational facilities and good shopping. So basically everything that we need or students need is available within our communities. And we're a short drive to a larger urban center. So Prince Albert is a smaller city that's close by. It's an hour drive from where I live. And then we have Saskatoon, which is an hour and 45 minutes, for example. So if we need anything special, a specialty items, then we're not too far away from a larger urban city. So the first slide highlights our Melfort location. The second one highlights our Nipawin location, and it's known for being situated on the edge of a forest, so there's lots of trees and lakes close by. And then we have our Tisdale campus location for us, which is in the center of our region. So it's only a half hour away, for example, from where I live. Before we share the program information with you, I'm sure you're wondering about the COVID-19 situation and how it impacts the programs that we're offering at Cumberland College. So just to give you an update right now, in the province of Saskatchewan, we are currently in stage 4 of our Reopen Saskatchewan plan. So that's stage 4 out of 5. So we are making progress. We are asked to continue physical distancing. Masks are encouraged when we're in close proximity with others or out in the public. We can have public and outdoor gatherings of up to 30 people. And actually next week, our K-12 system, so our elementary and high school students, will be resuming face-to-face classes. So they've been off school, we was transitioned to an online format at the end of March. So this will be the first time that the students will be face-to-face. So I have 2 elementary school-age children, and they're quite excited to be going back to school and meeting their friends. So the classes have been modified so social distancing can occur, and students will be wearing masks in hallways and busy areas. Now with the post-secondary system in the province, so all of the colleges and universities, they currently are offering programs in an online or blended format. So not currently offering face-to-face for adult students right now. The programming is all online until at least the second semester that starts in January. So we are currently waiting to see just what happens with COVID this fall. Our rates are fairly low in the part of the province where we currently live. I think there's 1 active case, and in the province of Saskatchewan, we've had 1,600 cases right now. So with 1,200,000 people. And just so you know, we've shared some information on the slide as far as the kind of official stance. And we will be following the advice of our provincial and federal government chief medical officers. So the programming, start dates, or the delivery methods may change in the future. As far as refunds for international students, we will be issuing full refunds for any students who paid their deposits for our programs when we've given them a designated date. That will be included in the letter, and I know Sarah will be sharing that information with you. But if a student has a visa refusal and they will present that to us, we would give a full refund. Or if the program was full at the time a deposit was made, or if there's any reason regarding COVID-19 restrictions, so if there's travel bans in place, or there's illness, or the borders closed, we will return the deposit. But at this point in time, Cumberland College is currently preparing for face-to-face instruction. And when we share the programs, you'll see that we have one that starts in July of 2021, and the rest are in the fall, so end of August, beginning of September. And we also are collaborating with our other provincial post-secondary institutions, so that we are approaching the self-isolation period when students come to Canada and come to Saskatchewan, and we're doing that in a coordinated effort. So we have plans in place for students to self-isolate for the mandatory 14 days right now, and we're doing so in a manner that's fairly cost efficient for students, and they have a comfortable place to stay and food services and so on. So I'm quite pleased that we're making some strides as far as that requirement. So in 2021, we have 5 programs that will be delivered through Cumberland College that are available for international students. They are all, well, 4 out of the 5 are 1-year certificates, and 1 is a 2-year diploma. And as I mentioned, they are all geared to prepare students for in-demand employment opportunities, and they all have good earning potential as well. So the 5 programs are an agriculture certificate, the 2-year business diploma, continuing care assistant, disability support worker, and office administration. So to begin with, I'll present a little bit of information about the agriculture certificate, and Sarah will share some information with you as far as the admissions requirements for the programs. So we'll go back and forth a little bit here. So the agriculture sciences certificate is a 1-year program. This will be at our Melfort campus, and the intake is in July. And the reason for that is we anticipate that many of the students will be employed in agriculture or connected with agriculture. So if we have international students coming, there will be a bit of a break in the fall for harvest. So that will be an opportunity for students to get some hands-on experience. This program will focus on crop production and really the modern agricultural operations, and ensuring that students are up to date with current practices, and they will be involved in and have some hands-on experience as well. We have a partnership with our local farm operation, and they'll get some hands-on experience here. Cumberland College has an agricultural advisory committee, and we have local producers and industry reps on that committee, and they are very supportive of this program. So there's lots of different employment opportunities for students once they graduate. You'll see that the tuition for all of our international programs is $18,000 Canadian per year, plus student fees and books. So as far as career opportunities with the agricultural sciences, students can work as an agricultural field person, or with livestock or crop production. And they may also act as an industry rep in agriculture. There's a number of different organizations or businesses that provide services for agricultural producers in our area. So Sarah, did you want to highlight the admission requirements now?
Yes, you bet. So the admission requirements for agriculture sciences is that you must have a grade 12 with a minimum 50% in the following subjects: English, math, and any science. And stats math will be considered, but not the accounting maths. You also have to meet the English language requirement. The IELTS score must be 6.5 overall with no module less than six bands. And then the PTE, you can have a minimum score of 58 with minimum communication skills scores of 50.
Thanks, Sarah. Next, we have the General Business Diploma. This is a 2-year program that will begin next September, and it will be offered at our Tisdale campus. So it is a broad program, so it provides an array of different topics that pertain to many different sort of aspects of business. So it can take students in a lot of different directions. Courses include topics such as accounting and finance and human resources, economics, and so on. So students do get exposure to a lot of different areas. As far as career opportunities, almost every sector is connected to business in one aspect or another. Even education, post-secondary, we definitely have people with business backgrounds. Students can find employment in government or private industry or the nonprofit sector. But some of our students are also entrepreneurial in nature, and so their plan is to go out and set up their own small business as well. So this program certainly can take people in a lot of different directions, and some of the students then choose to go on afterwards and continue with their education and work towards a degree as well. So Sarah, as far as admission requirements.
So the business diploma program requires a grade 12 with a minimum 50% in English 30A or 30B and foundations 30 or pre-calculus 30. So on the end in India, that would be the math, the stats would be considered again, but not the accounting math for that one. Computer experience is recommended for this program, and the English language requirement also has to be met, and the IELTS score has to be an overall minimum score of 6.5 band with a minimum of 6.0 in each component. And if you're taking PTE, a minimum score of 58 with a minimum communication skills scores of 50.
Our next program is our continuing care assistant. This is a health-related program, a 1-year certificate, and this by far is our most popular program with international students. It's offered at our Melfort campus, and as you can imagine, students going into this field need to be caring and compassionate and have an upbeat attitude and able to work with people who really are vulnerable and maybe at a vulnerable time of their life. So some of the skills that students work on in this program help them to work in homes or in special care facilities. And so there's a lot of emphasis on personal care and dementia and gerontology, for example. So there's lots of work with the elderly. And as far as career options, students can work as a continuing care assistant, they can work as a special care aide, or as a home health aide. So again, there's some different options for students, and there does tend to be a lot of employment opportunities available locally for people with this certification. We have noticed that some of the students who've come into our programs then choose to go on later once they finish CCA and work towards nursing, for example. So Sarah, as far as the admission requirements for this one.
So the admission requirement for the CCA program is a grade 12 You need to have a standard first aid and CPR or an equivalent of that. We recommend that applicants should have personal and physical suitability, as this is a special and sensitive line of work. And the English language requirement also has to be met, and the IELTS overall minimum score of 6.5, no module less than 5.5. And if you're taking PTE, a minimum score of 63 with a minimum component score of 50.
Thank you, Sarah. Next, we have the Disability Support Worker Certificate. We are excited to be offering this program. This is a new program for us at Cumberland College, another one-year certificate that will start in August, late August next summer, and it will be at our Tisdale campus. So again, another human service program that will require students to be compassionate and caring. They'll focus on providing personal care and behavioral support for clients. There will also be crisis prevention and an emphasis on disability support services. As far as employment opportunities, students can expect to work as a disability support worker, a supported living worker, educational assistant in the school system, or a vocational trainer out in the community, making connections with employers, or a community residential worker. So admission requirements, Sarah.
So the admission requirements for this program is grade 12 again. And the English language requirement for it is, for IELTS, is an overall minimum score of band 6.5 and no module less than 5.5. And if you're taking PTE, a minimum score of 63 with a minimum component score of 50.
And our last program that we'll highlight today is the Office Administration Certificate. This is a long-standing program for us. We've offered it for many, many years. Another one-year certificate that will be at our Nipawin campus next fall. And this prepares students with the skills to work in a modern office environment setting. So as you can imagine, there's a heavy emphasis on word processing, computer skills, accounting, spreadsheets, workplace communication, and so on. Our graduates find that they have a broad job market to choose from. So they may work in government or education, law, actually healthcare. Locally, our health authority, which is one of our biggest employers in the region, actually expects this specialization or this certificate for people to work in the field. So they recognize this certificate, and this is the credential that they want. But students can find themselves working in either large businesses or smaller businesses as well. So as far as career opportunities, administrative assistants, office managers, support staff, customer service reps, bookkeepers, receptionists, and so on. Admission requirements, Sarah.
Yeah, so the admission requirements for office admin is a grade 12. Keyboarding speed of 25 words per minute is recommended. And the English language requirements, you need an IELTS overall score, minimum score of 6.5 band, and no modules less than 5.5 bands. And the PTE score is a minimum of 63 with no minimum component scores of 50.
So next, Brandy Wicks, who is our international advisor, she's going to share with you some of the supports that we have in place for international students. And she's also going to let you know about some of the supports that are available within our communities as well. So I'll turn it over to you, Brandy.
Okay, thanks, Brenda. Okay, hi everyone. As Brenda said, my name is Brandy and I work as the International Advisor with Cumberland College. So Sarah and I typically work with all interested individuals who have questions about programming at Cumberland College or are interested in applying to programming at Cumberland College. And we assist international students who have not yet arrived in the country. And we help with different areas such as providing information on the English language, proficiency requirements, and different items like that. Once in the country, we do have an advisor at each campus location that will work with all students at that particular campus. So as Brenda talked about, we have 3 campuses, Melfort, Tisdale, and Nipawin. So there's an advisor at each of those campuses. I currently work for the Tisdale campus as the advisor there. Advisors at each of our campus locations will work with all students and international students in particular to help with different items in a different variety of areas that can help make our international students transition to Canada as easy as possible. We also have a mentorship program for our international students where we actually offer an honorarium to our former international students to work with our newly arriving international students in a variety of ways. So in our mentorship program, students will help our new students in obtaining Saskatchewan health cards, and will help in different areas such as setting up a bank account and purchasing groceries in the community, and preparing for winter, which is always kind of a shock to a lot of our international students. They can get quite cold at times in the winter here, so proper winter clothing and things like that, and just in other general areas of what to expect in Canada. I know one conversation that came up with our students was just how to conduct yourself in the classroom, because instructors in Canada typically like a lot of communication from the students. So just different areas like that that may differ from the student's home location. In addition to our mentorship program, our on-campus advisors will also assist students in a number of areas throughout the year. So if a student is struggling with something personally, we can work through that with the student or provide referrals within the community. If students are having any academic concerns or academic questions, we help with those areas. We can discuss classes, expectations. We help with things if you're struggling with finances, what can we do to help with that? We can try to help you to find a way to navigate your financial concerns. If you're needing tutoring or something like that, we'll help in those areas. And then we also provide support in employment services. So if you need help putting together a resume, or you want to know what to expect that takes place in a typical interview in Canada, those are different areas that we can help you with as well. So we do provide a number of different areas of support throughout the year for all students that are entering Cumberland College. And I'll talk about our scholarship program as well. We have a very generous scholarship program. It typically goes out in 2 stages. So we have our entrance scholarships, which are $2,000 scholarships to students that are newly entering Cumberland College as new students. And then we also have a general awards program that all students are welcome to apply to once in their programming. And it's right in the middle of the year. It's usually runs, the application is open from December 1st to January 31st. So it's another opportunity for students to apply for scholarships to get some funding for their programming. So that's kind of a list of the different student support opportunities that we can provide at the college. I'm also going to talk about another service in the community, which is the Northeast Newcomer Services. So this is a partnership program that Cumberland College has. We work very closely with Northeast Newcomer Services, particularly for our international students. So Northeast Newcomer Services is based in Tisdale, but serves the needs of all newcomers to the Northeast region of Saskatchewan. So whichever campus you were joining, you would be able to work with newcomers to help support you in that. They offer information and referral services to newly arriving members to the area. Northeast Newcomer Services recognizes that moving to a new country and new community can be exciting, but also has its challenges. So the staff at Newcomer Services wants to help make this transition as smooth as possible for all newcomers to the area. I think that's about it. Thanks, Brenda.
Thanks, Brandy. Next, Sarah is going to share some information with you regarding the application and admission procedures.
Yeah, so now that we've shared all the wonderful services and programs that we're offering, here's the actual what we need to do to get you there. So first we need the students or the agents with the students to complete an online application form for the program of their choice. You can go onto our website and search them through there. Then once it's received, we need you to pay $140 refundable application and assessment fee, and this is paid via Flywire. Along with that fee, we need you to submit all your official secondary and post-secondary transcripts from your home country. And then you can just have those scanned copies of the documents straight to me. Those are acceptable for admission purposes. An original copy will have to be presented upon your arrival to Cumberland College or in Canada. If you need to order original documents, you can just have them sent directly to Cumberland College, and all your transcripts must be translated into English. So once I have all the transcripts, we also need you to provide a proof that you meet the English language requirement. So IELTS results can be scanned and uploaded with your online application, or they can be emailed directly to me when you send the transcripts. If you've not completed the IELTS tests, you can still submit your application as long as you provide them later in an email. It's the same thing if you're not doing IELTS, you could do PTE. We are in the process of having Duolingo for all programs, but I do not have it in the slides because we're still in the works. But we will accept Duolingo test results for the Agriculture Sciences program and the General Business program right now. So if you don't have IELTS, Duolingo is a good option to do online, and you can pick Cumberland to have your results sent directly, and Brandy and I will be able to access them from there as long as you select us. Again, it's just for the 2 programs right now. So that can also be in place of the IELTS. And what else do we have here? Well, when I believe the Duolingo score is has to be 105 for both Ag and Business for you to pass. So again, apply, pay the $140 assessment fee, get me the transcripts and the English language requirement. Then we send that off for assessment with our brokering institution, and that can take anywhere from 5 to 10 business days. And then from there, we will provide you with an offer letter into the program. And I think that's it. Oh, I guess we can talk about that part too. Yeah, so upon receiving the offer letter, what happens is then you will be asked to pay a deposit by a certain deadline. Again, we kind of talked about refunds around COVID or a student visa denial, that sort of thing. That's where that comes from. Once you pay that deposit, then you would receive your full acceptance letters, and that is where you can follow through with your study permit application and go from there. And there's a little checklist here when you're going through that, just to be prepared that you may have to provide proof of finances, proof you have no criminal record, proof of health, and receipt of all documents. And so acceptance checklist is that we've received everything. Sorry, Brenda, go back to the other slide. There we go. You apply online, you pay the assessment fee. We do get the assessment done. You receive your offer letter. If you follow through with those conditions, you receive your acceptance letter. Yeah, I kind of have covered all of this stuff. Sorry, I got a little ahead of myself, but all tuition deposits and fees can be paid by a Flywire also. And if you have any questions about that, you can definitely email me directly, or Brandy as well. I think that's
Thank you, Sarah. Thank you very much. So why should students consider Cumberland College? There's some opportunities for students when they're in Saskatchewan. They can work. The students are eligible to apply for a student work permit, and that helps cover the cost of their tuition or their living expenses when they're in country. So as a learning a designated learning institution, Cumberland College students are able to work when they are enrolled in their program. Then once they finish their program of study, they can apply for a postgraduate work permit. And the work permit, the length of time of the work permit is equal to the length of time of their program. So if they are involved in a 12-month program, they would be eligible for a 12-month work permit where they'd be able to work after they finish their program. And then the students also have the option of the Saskatchewan Immigrant Nominee Program, and that's the route to gain permanent residency status in Canada. So next, we would appreciate your feedback on a couple of different areas. We have 2 poll questions for you, and the first one is how likely would your students defer to a future term if the requirement was to start online? As explained, we are looking at face-to-face delivery next fall. That is our plan and our preferred route, but as the COVID situation is fluid, we're just interested in knowing what the level of interest would be if we look at an online format to begin with. I see we're kind of all over the place so far. So how much longer for the poll?
Oh,
it's finished?
it's done.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, that one's finished. So it looks like we've got 15% would not defer, from about 8% to defer. And will you send me these results after, Shivani?
Sure.
That would be fabulous. Thank you so much. So our second question is around programs that you believe your students may be interested in. So we're wondering, the majority of your students, what would they prefer? A 1-year certificate in health, a 1-year certificate in agriculture, 2-year diploma in business, a 4-year undergraduate degree in education, or a 1-year postgraduate certificate in business. So again, we value your feedback on the program offerings.
They have already answered both the question in that.
Oh, they did that as well. I did it. Oh, I couldn't see the results here on that one.
Yeah,
Thank you, I guess. Oh, 2 years in business. I see that now. So that's great feedback. So I'm glad that we are offering the 2-year business program this coming year. So hopefully I look forward to seeing lots of applications for that particular program.
Yes, we have a winner.
So thank you for spending this time with us. We appreciate that for many of you, it's the end of your work day. So we hope that you learned a little bit about Cumberland College and have a sense of who we are and the types of programs that we offer. We're a small college, but we do take great pride in getting to know our students and really providing the best educational experience possible for them. I'd also like to thank M Square Media for all of their support. We greatly appreciate their assistance and their expertise. So we value their partnership for sure. So please just reach out to us if you have any further questions.
Yeah, I mean, we have few questions which are rolling in if you don't mind answering them.
You bet we will.
All right. So they're asking, what is it like to be on campus for September? What do you think? What facilities? If there is quarantine period, and how we can help students in that aspect for September 2021.
Well, it's hard for us to predict right now. It's encouraging kind of the way things are going in our province as far as COVID, but still there's lots of restrictions in place, and nationally as well. If things remain the same or similar, it's anticipated that students will be required to have a 14-day quarantine period, but we do have plans in place with our other post-secondary partners so that all of the international students will be given the opportunity to stay at the University of Regina residence, and they have very modern facilities there. They'll have their own private space, and they'll have access to food services and healthcare and so on. So we're very, very pleased to have some arrangements in case that self-isolation period will still be a requirement. But our goal is that next fall, we'll have everybody back on our campuses, and we'll be up and running as we normally do.
Right. That will be great, I believe. I hope we don't come across this situation for next year, but just to be on the safer side.
Mm-hmm.
Right. There's a question that how many classes will be there in a week?
That does vary from program to program. All of the programs that we've featured are full-time programs, so students attend classes roughly from 8:30 to 4 p.m. daily.
Okay, right.
Some of the programs are set up on a module basis, module by module, so they may be taking one class at a time. Others may be taking 5 or 6 classes at a time.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So are we going to accept Duolingo for September, just in case?
Just in the Ag Sciences program and the General Business Diploma. We're still working with SAS Polytech to guarantee that that's in place for next year for those programs. So
General Business and
the Agriculture Sciences.
Agriculture. Only these will be there.
Yeah.
Right. And how much gap do we accept ideally for a grade 12 student?
That's like a period from when they finish their grade 12. As long as they have the grade 12, it doesn't matter the gap period that they have.
No.
Right. So there's a question, do we accept conditional offers? As in if somebody is pursuing their grade 12 or they're taking their IELTS or their graduation, are we going to accept those students?
We don't issue conditional acceptances. We require you to have all of those admission requirements in. Yeah.
So a complete application will be accepted, right?
Yeah.
They want to know about entrance scholarship requirements, if any.
Right now, and Brandy, maybe you know this more than I about the entrance scholarships.
It's based on academics, so everyone applies and then it goes to the top 25 students typically, based on fully on academics.
And our scholarships are open to international students. In the past, they were restricted to students within our province, but there's been a change. So international students are welcome to apply for scholarships.
So what is the minimum amount that starts from a scholarship?
The minimum amount of a scholarship, most are in the $500 to $1,000 range, but the entrance scholarships are $2,000.
All right. Right. There's another question. They're asking about tuition fee refund in case of a denial. How much do we deduct?
Okay, so it's fun if it was a visa refusal, or if it was anything COVID, we don't keep anything. The only thing that's non-refundable is that $140 assessment fee. However, if you are accepted and you have a visa, for some reason you choose another program at another college or you leave, we do hold back $300, and you'd only get the $8,700 instead of the $9,000 back. We do hold more back than that. So, but that's only if it's not COVID related and if it's not a denial of a visa.
Okay. So what are the job opportunities available, since the cities are not too big? So what kind of jobs, or are there any facilities for on-campus job, or do you help students getting into jobs, some employment?
We don't have any on-campus jobs, but we do make connections for students within the local communities. We have people whose role it is to connect with our employers, local employers. And actually, Brandy and Sarah, this is kind of new to you, but we are looking at an employer engagement position. So this person should be in place for next fall. And they will be going out and making connections with business, and so that students can go out for some work experience. And then once they're finished their program, hopefully they'll be employed.
Right, great. What is the cost of living ideally? I mean, we know that Canada has like $10,000 of their cost of living, but what is the actual, since you guys are living there? So what is the cost of living actually? Is it expensive? It is
like rent,
affordable?
groceries, that kind of stuff, or?
No, the accommodation, yes. If somebody wants to take their accommodation, what is an approximate, like 500, 200? What do you think is a approximate cost of living there to rent an apartment of 2-bedroom or a single bedroom?
You're looking for a 2-bedroom apartment, you're looking at probably $800 a month plus power and water and everything on top. So I would gauge around $1,000 if you're planning on living on your own, right? And then if you can get a roommate, that of course minimizes the cost. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, of course that varies so much. Like you probably could find something for $500, but you could probably spend $1,200 too, right? Yeah. So it does vary a bit, but.
Yeah, it would depend on the student how luxuriously he or she wants to live in that.
Yeah. That's right.
Right.
And if they want a roommate or not, yeah.
Yes. So there's one question. What will be the program requirement for disability support program? Will there be a medical student who can join, or they have to have maths? What is it like? What will be the requirements? Who all can apply for disability support program?
Okay. So anybody can apply for it. You only need to have a grade 12. And then you just have to meet the English language requirement. They aren't asking for any other special certification to take the program. So as long as you have those two things, you can apply.
Okay, so a medical can also apply, or non-medical. All the streams can apply, right?
So. I think so, yeah.
All right. Is there an age limit to apply for Cumberland? Probably you guys would not mind taking a student in that aspect, but they have to see the immigration guidelines of their home countries.
Correct.
Right. Right. So I believe we have answered many questions, and we have less time on our clock now. So thank you, everyone. Thank you so much for such an hand-on presentation. It's always nice to have you guys, and giving out the important information. And we are hoping our September intake will kickstart quick, and we'll have a good session And I mean, there was a question where they asked if we have January. So I didn't answer that. I didn't ask you purposely because we know that it's September now, but we will be starting the process for that as soon as possible. And thank you so much. Let us know if you have your last words for our audience before we wind up.
No, I'd just like to thank everybody for joining us today, and please feel free to reach out if you have any questions.
Right. All right. Thank you everyone for participating. We hope to see you next time soon, and please stay home, stay safe, and all the best. Thank you. Take care. Bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.